When I grow up,
I would like to be an animator,
marine biologist, an artist, a forensic scientist,
a zookeeper.
I want to be a photographer,
a chef,
an author,
teacher,
surfer, video game designer,
to be a doctor, a fashion designer,
builder, cartoonist or stuntman.
Join our reporters as they check out some great jobs, meet interesting people and go on some cool adventures. Inquiring Minds shows you that you can have fun while following your dreams through higher education.
Hi and welcome to the show. On this episode, Holly and Dylan meet a vet nurse who spends his days with all creatures great and small. But first, Sasha and Lulu check out some really cool threads when they meet a fashion designer.
Fashion can refer to any number of things, whether it be our clothes, our shoes, or even our hairstyles. And every day when we choose what clothes to wear, we're actually creating our own sense of style and fashion. Now, Lulu is a young girl who not only loves looking at fashion, I hear she's also keen to design a few things herself. Lulu, do you have any of your own drawings or any designs that you've made?
Yeah.
So what is this one you have here?
It's sort of like a flower pot.
Yep.
And there's the stems and the flowers are the sleeve.
Yep.
And this is a matching pair skirt.
And so you like actually designing the whole outfit? Mm-hmm. Yeah, that is awesome. What is this one?
Well, it's a sun.
Yep.
And this is all the buildings and mountains down the bottom.
Yep. And so Lulu, what do you love about fashion?
Well, it's fun to create.
Yeah.
I just love drawing it and making it up.
And Lulu, what kind of clothes would you like to design?
Scarves and t-shirts.
Scarves and t-shirts?
Yeah.
Is fashion something you definitely want to move into? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Lulu, would you like to meet someone who not only designs her own fashion, but actually creates as well?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's go meet BT.
Doing handcraft with my family a lot. We'd spend holidays making things and creating things. When I got to year 12, that's all I wanted to do was do fashion and textile design at university. So my business now is I have a little shop. It is really hard work, making and designing and selling, but I get to do what I love and meet people that love what I do.
Do you?
Hi, how are you?
Good, I'd love to introduce you to Lulu.
Hi Lulu, how are you?
Good.
And what are these? Are these things you've made?
Yeah.
Beautiful. I love that.
It's like at the bench.
This is really cool, and I totally love fabric designing as well. And this is one of my latest prints, which is kind of similar, but I haven't hand drawn it on. It's done with a screen printer. That one as well.
Do you have anything for men that I could try on?
You want to try on the jacket?
I'd love, can I try that one on?
Yeah.
It just looks too good. Did you make this one as well?
Yeah.
How long does it take to make something like this?
I don't know, half a day maybe?
Half a day to make that?
Yeah.
Wow.
Maybe a day, it depends. But see, all this is hand stitched.
Yeah.
Because I love hand stitching. You can put the hood on.
The hood on as well. Wow, I feel gangster now.
Yeah.
Looks really nice on you.
Yeah, do you like it, Lulu?
Yeah.
So what do you think, how does it actually sit on me?
Yeah.
Yeah? Does it look comfortable?
Yeah.
I do men's and women's wear. I design 2 collections a year. Everything's made in the workshop side and I sell it out of the other side, so it's sort of divided into 2.
How do you come up with ideas for your designs?
I usually collect a whole bunch of inspirations, maybe like a leaf or a photograph, and then I create this board called my mood board. So this is my mood board here. So they're pictures from magazines or from an internet site that looks at people on the street, what they're wearing. So I like looking at what people wear on the street.
Did you do a lot of drawing at school?
Yeah, at school I used to draw, because you do work on the computer and I learned how to do that, but like those prints are finally done in computer, but first I draw these and I draw my textile prints, so yeah.
So you enjoyed it?
Yeah, and we can go have a look at some of my drawings if you like.
Okay.
I do definitely put my expression and my creativity into my clothes, like the colours that I choose and the fabrics that I design. Maybe some ideas for like sleeves or a shirt, maybe putting like a hand printed stripe on there. I love being creative, and I think if you have a passion to do something, then you should have a go at it, because no one can do what you can do. Do you want to have a go of maybe drawing a dress?
Yeah.
Yeah? So just use that as a guide, and we could put some colour on it afterwards.
What kind of dress are you making?
Like a spring dress.
Spring dress? Yeah. And Beatty, what do you do if you're not inspired?
You can never not be inspired, never. There's so much inspiration around. There's always like the plants that you walk past every day, or graffiti, or like you can never be bored. I think there's always something to look at visually that excites you.
So you use everything as a way to be inspired.
Yeah. And what other people wear around you, like that. See, I'm quite like those two colours together.
Yeah, which one? The greens or the yellow?
The green, all of it. It's cool, yeah.
Thank you.
University for me was really great because we got to do a broad range of skills. So we did business stuff, we did design, we did pattern making and sewing. Without university, there's no way I would be here. And I proudly have my uni degree up on my wall.
And that looks really good.
Yeah, that's really good. It's interesting because from this, so it would fit onto a body, you would have to put some more seams or darts in there.
What are darts?
What you're doing is you're folding the fabric to create space there, but less space here.
Yep, got it.
So yeah, because we're 3D and fabric is flat. So yeah, you just need to, and maybe up here and at such a high neck, you'd probably have to put some sort of seam or a dart there. And that's what I learned at university. So from creating what you want it to look like to then how you would actually make it from a flat piece of fabric to be 3D to fit a body, which is shapy. I think people want something unique, something that's been handcrafted and made with love, and I think they can feel the difference. So once I've decided what I'm going to make, then I have to pattern make. And pattern making is very technical and you have to really concentrate.
So the way of making clothes hasn't really changed much in a while.
Yeah, the way that I work is a bit old-fashioned in that in big companies, you know, someone would just design and then someone would just pattern make and then someone would just cut out with a big laser machine. So yeah, it hasn't changed that much, but I also do hand stitching and that's quite old-fashioned, and I show the hand stitching rather than it looking like it's done by the machine. So Lulu, do you want to learn some hand stitching?
Yeah.
There's some here that I've done. This is one that I'm making, it's just a scarf. I'll start it and then you can have a go if you want. And that'll just be for sale in the shop, and people just really love that hand-stitched look. Yeah, perfect. And you didn't get it in your thumb, that's good.
When will all your clothes be ready?
So yeah, when they're all ready, we're gonna do a photo shoot, maybe in a month or so, maybe you can come.
Okay.
And maybe you can bring something that you've made. Yeah, that looks cool.
Hello!
Hi!
Hi, Katie.
Good, how are you?
Fantastic.
What have you got there?
It's a scarf.
Can I have a look?
Yeah.
Beautiful. Did you make it?
Yeah.
Awesome. I love it. It's amazing, using everything I've learnt through life and through university and using my skills and having a go. Look towards that way.
Something I really want to still continue because I really enjoy it. I'd like to go to university to continue making better fashion things, clothes and stuff that you can wear.
It's great to meet people like Beatty, who have taken the university experience and have started their own business. Beatty has a really cool line of clothes, and I think Lulu just might be joining her in a few years when she designs a few of her own clothes as well.
Coming up next, Holly and Dylan take a walk with some tigers. Let's join Holly and Dylan as they find out why it's so important to take care of your pets, no matter what the species.
For any animal lover, an ideal job would be helping care for them when they're sick or injured. Vets and vet nurses are trained to work with a wide range of animals. Everything from domestic pets like cats and dogs, right up to some of the wild animals you see in zoos. Let's go meet Dylan and find out why this is what he wants to do when he grows up. Hey! Hi Dylan, how are you going?
Oh, good.
Good? Hello? Oh, who are these?
This one's Duke, the German Shepherd.
Yeah. Duke. And what's this one?
This one's Boots. Boots is 4 years old. Duke is 2 years old.
Yeah.
And so is Gretel, but she's hiding.
Oh, she's a bit shy.
Yeah.
And so what is it that makes you want to care for animals?
They do something for you, like if they're rescue dogs, they rescue you. So we should do something for them.
They're great friends, aren't they? And what is it that you know about vets and vet nursing?
Sometimes they operate on them, like to see if they have something like wrong in their body. They fix them.
Absolutely, they look after them, don't they?
Yeah.
So would you like to go and meet someone who's met all sorts of animals with their work as a vet nurse?
Oh yes, that'd be great.
Let's go.
The role of a vet nurse in a clinic is they are essentially the first point of call. And so if someone walks in, it's the nurse that first has to assess the condition of the animal. And then from there, be able to get the vets, let them know what exactly is going on. So essentially what we do from that stage is assist the vets.
Hi Fabian, how you going?
Good, how are you?
Good. This is Dylan.
How you going, Dylan?
Good.
That's the way.
So Fabian, what animals have you worked with?
I've worked with lots of different types of animals, but mainly I've worked with dogs and cats. I guess that's the main sort of animals that people have at home, so they're the most common ones that we see.
So what was your favourite subject at school?
Well, I always loved all the science subjects, so biology and chemistry, but yeah, especially biology because I love learning about animals, about how their different systems work, how they live, how they breathe, where they live, and how they impact on the environment as well.
And what's involved in the job of being a vet nurse?
It can be very complex, but why don't I just go in and show you?
Yeah, great.
Cool. Hi, Jenny.
Hey,
How are you? Good.
It's good to see you.
Good to see you again. What are we doing with Dexter?
Yeah, so this is Dexter. He's from like 5-month-old boxer, and as you can see, he's a bit special because he's white. And he had a seizure last night. It's actually the second one he's had within about 2 weeks. When they have seizures, it's actually a problem in the brain. Most likely in his case, because he's so young, we think it's probably epilepsy. Yeah, so same as people get epilepsy, dogs do too.
It's funny how people don't realise how many human illnesses that our pets can have as well, such as epilepsy. So
yeah.
Why do you like working with dogs so much?
Well, they're man's best friend, aren't they? They're so special. I like working with them because it is like treating a family member. So I'm a doctor, but just for animals.
it is a very taxing career because you do see lots of sick animals and you have to be able to dissociate yourself from that and just realise that you're doing the best that you can. And then once you do figure out that that is something that you can do, it is extremely rewarding. Hey Marta, how are you?
Hi, good, how are you?
Good. So what are we doing here?
This horse has come in because he was sore in this foot, so he had what's called a lameness, and we found a very, very deep abscess. It's much like a very, very deep pimple, something like that.
And so you've got that plate there just to support it and keep it all together?
That's right. We've got this aluminium plate right across, which is really secured and fastened onto the hoof wall.
Okay. And what do we need to do now?
Okay, so we need to give it a clean. Fabian, do you want to come around this side and you can give me a hand?
Yeah, sure. Not a problem. Okay, Dylan. So yeah, pretty much as an assistant, we do whatever the vet needs to be able to do the job. So a lot of jobs need more than one pair of hands to do it.
Great, so what we'll do is we'll make sure everything's nice and clean and make sure there's no dirt packed in underneath this shoe.
Why do you like working with horses?
Well, I think it's really challenging because they can't tell you where they're sore or what's wrong with them. So it's a bit of a puzzle that you have to put things together in order to try and find out what's going on.
When it comes to looking after your own pets at home, it is very important just to always keep an eye on them so that you know exactly what their normal behaviour is. So then if there's any sort of difference between what is normal and then when they're unwell, you can actually pick that out quite well. Besides just domestic animals, we also look after more exotic animals, and that's what they look after here. So come through, I'll show you.
Great.
So what's happening with this bird?
Well, this bird came in yesterday and came in critically ill. It had a blood transfusion, and so what Jane is doing here, the vet, is just injecting some fluids and also some antibiotics just to treat any bacterial infection.
What kind of bird is it?
It's a Quaker's parrot.
And we're also treating for a possible toxicity because this bird came in collapsed and had been depressed for a couple of days. That is a possibility that he's eaten something that he shouldn't. And one thing that birds really like to eat are things with metal in them. And so they get heavy metal toxicity and their red blood cells get affected by that. And that may be why he was so low on blood and why we needed to do the blood transfusion yesterday. So do we have to watch out what metal ends up in the environment, in rubbish?
We do, yeah. We always need to think about that because lots of different animals will enjoy eating metal because metal tastes sweet. Anything that's in your house as well. So paint tastes sweet and your Venetian blinds taste sweet. So that's why we have to be really careful of what we have in our house when our animals are roaming.
Working with animals and working as a vet nurse in a clinic, you don't know what's going to come through the door. Makes your job and waking up every morning exciting.
Just no hands near mouth. He loves his food.
And fingers look like food.
What kind of injuries and illnesses do reptiles get?
Well, guys like this, they commonly cross the road, so one of the most common injuries they get is by getting run over by a car. But yeah, the guys here, they do everything they can to rehabilitate them.
And what lizard is this?
This is a shingleback. So with this lizard, you can see that the tail looks very similar to the head, and so that is to confuse the predators so they don't know which side to go where the mouth is. The skin, it's very thick and protects their internal organs.
It's like armour.
Exactly, it is an armour.
All right, let's have a look at Cyril. He's great, isn't he? All right, so Cyril, when he came in, had lots of skin infections. So we check his skin all the time to make sure that he's not got any problems anymore. And every year, reptiles shed their skin, so we've got to make sure that Cyril can shed all the little pieces of skin properly. Otherwise he'll get sore in the areas that the skin doesn't come off. So you can see his little toes. Some of them are a bit funny.
He's missing a
few.
Missing a couple there.
Yeah, that's right. And down the back here.
Nice shiny coat as well.
Yeah,
nice shiny armour.
And shiny. Yep. So that means that he's relatively well hydrated. And then we always check noses and mouths in reptiles, and you can see his mouth is nice and pink and a nice blue tongue. That's pretty normal for these guys.
I've worked with a broad range of animals, from domestic animals, your dogs and cats, to mice, birds, to more exotic animals, your lizards, your snakes, and also with tigers.
So what do you love about tigers?
Well, the things I love about tigers changed over time, but when I was a kid, I just loved how independent and graceful and powerful they were, just what they symbolise. And then as I grew up, there's lots more that I learnt about them and more to love. I decided that that's what I wanted to study, so I went out of my way, designed my own project, approached them about it, and I pushed hard because it's something that I really wanted. So it just goes to show you that if you really want something, it is achievable. You just have to set your mind to it and do what you need to do to get there.
What sort of behaviour have tigers shown in captivity?
Well, while they're in captivity, some abnormal behaviours do arise, and one of those, you may have noticed that tigers do tend to pace backwards and forwards, normally in a bit of a ring pattern as well. And that is a behaviour that they try and control, and different zoos try and incorporate different ways. And one of the most common ways to control that is to use things called enrichment, just by putting food around and in the enclosure, so then they can actually try and find the enrichment and just trying to stimulate natural behaviours.
Why is the studies of tigers so important?
Well, it's very important because the population of wild tigers is just diminishing so quickly. The natural habitat is getting devastated in such a rate that we need to really think about how we can protect them. Everyone can do something, and every little thing that we can do can help in protecting the population in the wild.
Oh, they're beautiful.
Look how small they are, so cute.
Aren't they cute, Dylan?
Yeah.
Just give them a little space in front there.
Yep.
Come right, Pat. Come fly over this way. You want to give them a peck?
Yes.
Behind me.
Come on, Dylan.
Come around and give them on the backside.
Why do you walk the tigers?
Well, it's great enrichment for them. It gives them lots of things to see and do. So it's a great thing for them to do long term. And also gives people a great chance to see them up close, and probably something they haven't seen before, and hopefully have a bit more empathy, or they care a little bit more about tigers than they did before they see them. I mean, tigers, other cats in captivity can suffer from boredom. So by giving them different things to do, it keeps them a little bit more entertained and enthused. So it's good for them. They're full grown about 3 years of age. Right now he's just 7 months old, so he's just a little guy now. He'll probably weigh about 160 to 180 kilos when he's full grown. Right now he weighs about 55.
So does he grow into those paws, or will they get bigger?
Sort of. They always have pretty big feet, though.
Yeah.
And tigers are excellent swimmers, so by having big feet helps propel them through the water.
How much does he eat on a daily basis?
He eats about 2 kilos a day, a little bit over 2 kilos a day. And right now he's gaining about 1 or 2 kilos a week, so he's growing pretty fast at this stage.
What do you feed him?
He eats chicken, horse, beef, and kangaroo. So just all meat. And a few vitamins and minerals added to that.
What sort of role do you guys play in conservation here?
We hopefully educate a few people about the dwindling numbers of tigers left in the wild, and there's only about 3,000 left in the wild. And also we raise quite a bit of funding for different projects we support in India and Far Eastern Russia and Sumatra.
What can people do to save tigers in the wild?
Well, the problems that they face are habitat destruction. So there's a lot of people using the forest for other purposes. So a lot of the funding that we receive goes to hiring forest guards to protect those last lands and prosecute people who are doing the wrong thing. It's just important to know that you're going to do the right thing and try to be a good global citizen and not just waste your environment.
During my degree, I found out how diminished their population is in the wild, and then I thought, what is going to happen when they're gone? How's it going to affect the ecosystem? And how we're going to resolve this. So that is where you go to university, you do your studies, and you can help.
I enjoyed this experience because when I get older, I want to be a veterinarian. When I go to university, I want to research about animals and how they live in their habitats, so I can connect with them and help them out.
It's great to meet someone like Fabian that's so dedicated to caring for injured and sick animals. And hopefully this experience will encourage Dylan to follow his dreams and work in a vet surgery. Whether it's helping domestic animals or even big cats like these tigers.
On the next episode, Holly learns how to build computer games and Lockie takes the plunge as he comes face to face with some sharks. See you next time.
If these stories have inspired you, then check out our website for activities and loads of information on all of our experts. Plus, don't forget to challenge yourself with our Inquiring Minds game.